It is of popular belief that in the presence of happiness there is an absence of inspiration. There is no muse, no Mona Lisa or Linda McCartney. There is no sadness to carve into earthly clays or melancholic colors to paint upon stretched canvases. I'm sketching her sharp lines when she suddenly stops to ask me with twinkling eyes, "Did you know that Van Gogh ate yellow paint because he wanted to feel happy inside?" Vincent van Gogh grasped the heavenly stars from the east-facing window of his asylum room just before sunrise. Frida Kahlo manifested her broken heart, her shambled marriage, into her most famous painting. Jean-Michel Basquiat's pieces were fueled by societal unrest and his yearning for change. He died at 28. Michelangelo considered himself a sculptor, rather a painter, and throughout the painting of the creation of Adam, he wrote poetry about how miserable he was under the roof that would one day be known to the world. I opt to hold my tongue because, had I spoken my mind on the subject of tortured artists, she would realize that I have no tragedy to my soul. The paper cuts to my sentience sanitized with rubbing alcohol and band-aided because I have been knocked down, but I have always gotten back up. I have gotten back up with the thoughts of my next old city venture and train track walk with my friends. The mere concept of suffering never lingered in my 17-year-old mind for longer than a week. And a week is the blink of an eye to a fruitful life. She asks me what my yellow paint is, and I do not know how to tell her that I am neither Van Gogh nor Kahlo. I am neither Lenin nor Cobain, and perhaps I will never achieve a greatness comparable to any of them. Maybe I am overthinking it, but maybe the significance of Van Gogh's yellow paint is not that he used it to poison himself. Maybe the overlooked importance of his yellow paint is that he used it to create sunflowers. What I'm trying to say is that everybody may have their yellow paint, but the shade does not matter more than what is created from the ambers and golds. And not to be overlooked are the turquoises and cherries, marigolds and periwinkles, lilacs and peaches of a person.
It took me a while to realize what I think of as normal isn't always a standard. 5, 8, 10, 13, 16. You swap the cake in your chubby toddler hands for an axe. You switch from not caring about your life's abnormalities to being acutely aware of them. Like Adam and Eve realizing their nakedness for the first time, you realize some fundamental truth about your existence was wrong. How do you cope with that? With knowing your perspective was that skewed for so many years? Knowing it could happen again is the worst of it. Who's to say this new truth I'm adjusting to won't be yanked from under me like the one before it? I've been thinking about it for some time now, and I've come to the conclusion there isn't anything we can do. Relying on truth as a solid, unchanging concept doesn't do us any good. The universe, God, or what have you, doesn't work one way or another to reassure us or ruin us. Things just happen. The only thing we can control is how we cope with what happens. I still don't really know what's true, but I know I'm ready for whatever happens next. I know life goes on.
Thank you.
No problem.
What's your name?
Everybody calls me the Secret Crusader.
从小我就听说过那个地方，祖先们跋涉千里，最终以那儿为家。一直以来，我有一个梦想，就是去那里看看，传说和现实究竟是怎样。一次盼望已久的旅程，一次源自心底的朝拜。我回来了，朝思暮想却又神秘陌生的故乡。我回来了，你的姑娘。